I'm back, kind of, but I have something special to show you guys. I picked this up real cheap. I think it's really interesting. This here Daihatsu Hijet 1976. Now there's a guy kind of close to where I live, pretty much just selling this. It's a home conversion that's been done just by someone a long time ago, but it's a real rust bucket now. Every time you open the door and close, bits of rust just come flying out of random places here and there. But it's really interesting because EV home conversion, what they've done is get a 3-phase motor there, straight onto the drive shaft and onto the rear diff. Now I want to see if I can get this thing kind of working. I'm not too interested in having it functional. Back here we have, I don't know why it's got two lids, but we have a battery bank here. We have a bunch of electronics. It's got everything labelled. So we've got things like battery charger. I'm pretty sure that's the high voltage battery charger, because then it's also got this 12 volt auxiliary battery charger. Up here we have another bank of batteries. Now what I'm going to do without even testing anything is I'm just going to plug it in. Inside the cab we have what appears to be a controller, that sort of matches, I'm guessing what this is, just a variable frequency drive, but not exactly sure on how it operates. Down here there's the throttle appears to be on a cable that goes into there. I mean, the original engine would have been probably back here somewhere, but I'm not too sure if it's run off of that or something else. They've got a speedo on here. I don't know exactly how that works. There's an RPM gauge or something, but then there's a switch here, so 3 different switches there. Let's leave that on off. Main breaker, which is currently off, and a battery voltage, which, I mean, judging by the top being 400, I don't know. We'll switch it, coast stop. Don't know exactly, but hell, we'll plug it in. If something blows up on it, then oh well. Oh, I'll just open up this thing on the side here as well, because it's just got a smaller battery bank. It's got 12 volt auxiliary written on the top, so I might just... Alright, so I'm leaving. It's got an off. Oh, which way do you turn? That way? Okay, so it's got an off, a run, a charge, and another. I wonder if that's meant to be up there. Another one for off. So we're just going to leave it on off. Battery string 1, was it 1, 2 and 3? Battery string 4? I don't know, let's turn everything off. Oh god, that does not feel like a good switch. Anyway, the hell's in here? Relays, light bulbs. Let's leave that out for now. Okay, let's plug it in. Got myself a plastic trim tool so I don't have to get too close to it. Is that gonna flip as soon as I turn that switch on? Yeah. Smoke. Probably not much point in trying to do much else there. I think I'll just pull it apart. Oh well, that's a shame. Now I never bought this to try and get it running properly. It was more of, I got it cheap enough that I could recycle the batteries and I'd get my money back, definitely. because the batteries are definitely all stuffed. But let's see. There is quite a bit of corrosion under here. I don't think this has been outside for too long. It was never really gonna come back to life properly, I don't think. So there's the back battery bank taken out. Now something is. Look at the bulge on that. That is quite bad. As well as there's all of these that were in a row. These are all stuck together. I could probably just no, they're stuck together, and they're all bulged out, and they're not in great condition. But I am curious, like there's a lot of these that are still nice and straight, so I'm going to run my multimeter across all of those, just for curiosity's sake, to see if they actually have any charge left in them. Right, check this out. So, I mean, let's put it down the right way. So, there's a typical sort of a 4.5 volts for a battery that's been sitting for a long time. 3.6. Some of these are a little bit worse, like there's 0.7, 5.7, and then we get to something like this, 11.7 volts. Now, these could just be surface charges and be horrible. That's only at 1 volt. There's 3.6. There's 7.2. But just for the hell of it, I'm going to chuck my charger on and see if any of them actually have some life left in them. Okay, so here's our current top voltages: 10s, oh, there's 11s, 10s, 8s, 7s, 5s, 4s, and then we got like a 4 and a 3 there. Definitely not going to chuck any of these bulging ones on. These ones that looked alright to start off with, I gave them a quick feel and they're all bulging as well, so I'm not going to chuck those on charge. There's one there, it's got a bit of bulging on the side, you can kind of see it, but I can feel it, so I'm not going to chuck it on charge. So while those ones get started, I'm going to pull out the next lot and see if there's any other ones that might still be good. And that there is the second box emptied out. Nothing left there. So now I'm just going to grab out those 4 and then I'll check the rest of them. Look at all those batteries. 60 of them sitting right there. So the ones that I've just tested, where are we starting from? Roughly around here. There's a 9 there, and a 6 and a 5 and a 4, 8, 7, some more 7s, 5. So there's a chance that there might be a half decent one there. So well, I've linked up 3 at the same time, so we can chuck some power into all of them, and it'll kind of spread the power out a little bit rather than just all dump into one. Other than that, I might just start tearing down some other stuff in here. Here's something I've just seen. Oh, 12 volts DC, 336 volts DC, and 415 volts AC. So pretty much must have had that 12 volt bank down over there, just doing all the basic electronics for the basics. And then the 336 volts DC out of all the batteries going through. I wonder if it just went straight into the variable frequency drive, and then it comes out as your 415 volts AC. That's our standard 3-phase power for New Zealand. So that's the same thing. If you get your 3-phase coming out of the wall, it's the same power there. So that's what the variable frequency drive would have been putting out to the motor, which is how that would have been controlled. So I'm still going to tear off all these boxes and dig a little bit further in, see where I go. Few rusty bolts. That'll do. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to do any more filming on this. I'm just going to pull all these pieces apart. It's a pretty basic system. It's just got the DC volts running straight into the variable frequency drive, and then that just puts the power straight out to the motor on a variable frequency. There is cord running from here to the inside. That's going to be what, you know, all the controls on the display here. You can control it from in there. There's nothing too special about it. It's got all the certed, so it was legal. Not sure if it was legal for on the road, but it had a certification, so I'm guessing so. But there's not much else to it. It's pretty much dead. The motor still spins, and because it's a 3-phase motor, it'll probably still run. I don't know, I might keep the motor, the drive line, I might just keep the whole chassis. I don't know, it could be something fun to do, but this body is so rusty that there is no hope for it. It's rubbish, it needs to be taken off. So the only thing I could do is maybe take off the motor, put on a DC motor with a DC controller, just load up the back with batteries with the cab off, just have it as like an open tractor or something like that. But I'm just going to strip most of it down and even just rip the body off. It's just scrap, there's nothing left. And then I'll take all these parts out. I'm not even going to keep the variable frequency drive. It's been in here for so long. Its registration was for 2009, so that puts it at 12 years old. So I'm not even going to bother. I'll keep these capacitors. I might check if they're any good. They've got a 50 volt rating, 3,300 microfarads. It's 3.3 millifarads. But charge is dead. Blue smoke. There's no point even looking into that. So that's going to be it for this. I will catch you later.